they've got high expectations for it. But until they do it in front of 107,000 people, we're still going to sit here a little anxious to see what they can do when we get there. But really like what we've seen so far, and the upside is incredible. I mean, I'm concerned all the time. There's a lot of guys, like you said, that we're concerned about. There's a lot of guys we've got high expectations for, like we said, but until they go out there and perform in front of the crowd when the lights are on, I tell you, that's what you're always waiting to see. So a lot of those guys, like they said, there's one of them that's really done it. There's a lot of them that haven't, and we'll be anxious to see here in a couple of weeks.
Luke, what's your two defense?
You know what? It kind of fluctuates every day. Right now, I'd say the story is obviously Coach Grant, Ryan Sheets here, and Josh Brewer, and then from there, everything's going to kind of go. The first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, we'll get a lot of guys with a lot of opportunities and see how guys step in and play. Ryan agrees right now, but some guys might be there with 60 minutes sometimes too, so we'll find a way to get our best 11 guys in the field, and that's the most important.
I'll say Luke.
He's missed a little bit, but he brings a lot of passion and energy to us, and I think that's you can evaluate the things in all different ways. And I know as we look at it, we look for our best 11, we look for the 11 best, and that's those guys working together. So you can't just take those guys, who are the best 11 guys, and put them out there one-on-one. That's not the reality of it. The reality is it's a team sport. You want to find those best 11s that work together.
How much comfort do you have in that secondary? All those veteran guys.
Those guys have done a great job. I mean, we're going to rely on those guys. We're going to put them in some situations that we're going to put some heat on them. And we're going to have to ask them to challenge people a lot of things we do. So, we're going to play to our strengths, just like we always have. And with those guys back there that's got a lot of experience, we're going to play to them. What's that? Oh, he's done a great job. Again, he's another one of those guys that hasn't done a whole lot in front of 107,000 people. Now, does that really make us nervous? No, but we'd like to see how those guys react and respond. And, he's not like unlike a bunch of the other young guys. He's got some great expectations for him, and just excited to see him go out and play.
Luke, what's it like to defend your offense? A lot of guys have said the offense they thought was a little bit ahead of the game.
Oh, it's tough. I mean, it's an everyday process, and like you said, we don't sit there and try to scheme up a game plan against our offense. But the reality is, we got to play against them every day, and it's great work. You see some great guys, you see some great running backs, you see a great offensive line, obviously a quarterback that can do unbelievable things. That's going to do nothing to make us better.
Is there more speed back there now? I mean,
there's definitely more speed. There's more confidence. When guys know what they're doing and why they're doing it, their ability to play faster is obvious. It's not like just because they've been here another year with Coach Mick that he's made them from a 4-5 to a 4-3 guy by any means. But when they understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, they're a lot faster, and in turn that makes us have to play a lot faster.
Look, when we talk to some of your players, defensive players, they think this defense, what maybe will be a little bit different about it this year compared to last year. They think it may be a little faster, a little more athletic. I mean, they kind of use those kind of terms. What do you see that's different about this group compared to a year ago when you had all the veterans there?
I don't know. I mean, I'd say if you want to break them down and just test the speed, maybe they are faster. But the reality is, just like the offense, those guys that understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, and they can play faster, that's the key. And I think that we really tried to kind of rein ourselves in. Us together as a staff another year has been a huge, huge growing experience. We know what we want, what we're looking for. We kind of focused on the objectives of what we want. We kind of sold those guys on those things. And, we're not going to sit here and talk about goals, because goals are something that you guys will evaluate at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. In today's world, man, it's such a fast-paced world. You can't be wondering and worried about what's going to happen in 2 or 3 weeks. We got to have an everyday objective, and that's what we're going to continue to focus on.
Well, talking about your anxiety or your angst or whatever, is it when you replace several? Will be eight new starters on defense in the first game with Roby out and stuff. Just how does that keep you up at night? Just thinking about the new guys.
Really it doesn't. I mean, the idea of how they will react and respond in front of that crowd, I mean, there's nothing like the environment that we put them in here on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. It's not 107,000 people, but it's as close as we could possibly get with the energy and the excitement and the on edge, the type of leadership that we do, and the aggressive nature that we have it. But to really see them go out there, I'm not only anxious, but I'm really excited too. And I think that's kind of that torn when you lay to bed. You go to bed at night. Are you really anxious, or are you really a little bit nervous? But I'd say I got a lot of confidence in these guys, and I'm excited to see them play.
Douglas and Noah have talked about how they push each other or feed off each other. What has it been like maybe to watch these two practice this month? maybe ease some fears for you guys replacing that defensive front?
Well, those are two guys, like we said, that got high expectations. They played maybe an average of eight snaps a game last year, and but got incredible talent, and they're really going to help make our defense. The game's won up front. I mean, we don't have to. We could say all this about these linebackers or the defensive backs and different things, and then we're going to put pressure on those guys. But the reality is, the game's won up front, whether it's offensive line or defensive line. And I like the makings of what we got. We got eight or so guys that can roll in there, and some young guys with some incredible talent. And we're going to put some heat on those guys as well. So I can assure you this, that these guys are going to rely on each other, going to have faith in each other, and they're going to play for each other.
I know you're not big on naming names, but are there a couple of guys that clearly have made strides in the last 2 weeks, maybe in the 9 and 6 week, 9 practices in 6 days, that you're relying on now that maybe you didn't know about 3 weeks ago?
No, I mean, again, there's been some guys out there that have really stepped up, and I think that you really see those guys have been in the program for at least 3 years. And I don't mean just because that they were here last year with Coach Meyer and the way we do things, but the reality is once they've been in their program for 3 years, they've been in college, they understand what the level of play is like, what the expectations are like. They can come out here and perform. Those guys have been here 1 and 2 years. They're still hitting a wall. And that was the last 3 days of camp, not today, but the last 3 days that you saw some freshmen, you saw some of those guys that you had, boy, you think you're going to play, and they hit a wall.
Yeah.
And trying to fight through that wall in these next 3 or 4 days, we got to get some guys ready to see.
Is Chris Carter a guy that can play this year, do you think?
Well, he's a guy that we're hoping we can get something out of. And that's another one of those guys that's in his 3rd year in the program.
Yeah.
And until he does it in front of 107,000 people, till we can really lay our head on the pillow at night and say that, I know he's going to go really hard, and he's going to give us everything he's got. We're going to see it. We're going to see in the first 4 games. I promise you that. He's going to have an opportunity, and I know we're counting and hoping that we see what we've seen out here.
13 days before the first game, do you like where this defense is at right now? Heading into a game ready?
Yeah, I do. I think the guys are continuing to fight. I mean, we hit some adversity here through camp like we expected, like we try to plan for. And the ways in which we come through adversity is going to really tell the tale. And that's what this today and the next day are going to be about. Is having some situations that we had to fight through and make our guys rally around each other and really grow. And you